Hello, my Hello, my name is Milan Sharma, and I'm going to give you reasons to vote for the Green Party's Jill Stein, and why this election is proven to vote for third-party candidates, and why we need them in the election, and why they need to be involved in the election process, in the debates, on all the ballots in America, and voting, ranked voting choice, etc. I'm going to explain why this election, why you shouldn't be afraid to vote for a Green Party candidate. So I'm going to show you a article from The Hill, and it's going to explain to you that, and it's going to show a study that projects that Clinton will win by 326 electoral votes. To Trump's 212. They say she has a 95% chance of winning the election if it were held today. So, if she has a 95% chance of winning the election, if you feel that if you supported Bernie Sanders or an independent that supported Bernie Sanders and you feel disenfranchised and you're angry with her and you don't feel that she has moved left to you or has not met your requirements for her foreign policy, her domestic policy, her policy on issues, if you don't think that she has done enough to get your support, then don't support her, because she has a 95% chance of winning the election. She's up by over 6 points. Yes, it's not that much, but she is very likely to win. Polls have shown over 60% of Trump supporters actually believe that she will win. So, again, I'm going to show you here one of the things that scares me the most about Hillary Clinton and why I would never support her for president of the United States is not only that her domestic policy issues, such as the Trans-Pacific Partnership and her previous support of NAFTA and CETA, but her foreign policy is what scares me the most. She voted for the Iraq War. She voted for the reauthorization of the Iraq War. She voted for the overthrow of the democratically elected government in Honduras in the 1990s. She voted for the overthrow of the Libyan government in 2011, I believe. So what I'm about to show you is probably what you've been guessing all along. And here it is. That's right, you read it right. Robert Kagan and other neoconservatives are backing Hillary Clinton. Now you can go into this and read into it. Excuse me, I'm not going to read into this, but so these very wealthy neoconservatives are backing Clinton because they know that she is going to be a militaristic interventionist president. Trump is a threat to that. Trump has exposed his, I guess, bromance, as people have been saying, about Vladimir Putin and how he would want to get rid of NATO and that he's not that militaristic. So Hillary Clinton is a safe choice for being in the military because defense contractors support her. Her previous support for all these wars, interventionist wars, and arming rebels and etc. Excuse me, and etc. So they know that she's a safe choice to be a militaristic interventionist president. That's why they're supporting her, and that's why in her one of her major policy positions that she has taken, which is very conservative, is a no-fly zone in Syria, which excuse me, which means that there need to be between 2,000 and 3,000 ground troops on the ground. And if a Russian jet flies over, which would most likely happen because they're the main ones, except for us, they're the main ones in Syria on behalf of Assad, they would most likely get shot down if there's no fly zone. And the consequences of that happening it can go on, and you can just guess what could happen. So I'm going to show you reasons why I believe that Stein represents that at least the liberal or progressive side of issues with the military, and why Hillary Clinton does not. So I'm going to show you a screenshot right here of her policies on foreign policy. So let's just bring that up here. Okay, so peace and human rights. Establish a foreign policy based on diplomacy, international law, and human rights, and nonviolent support for democratic movements around the world. So some examples of us violating human rights has been our brutal airstrike campaign that studies have shown that 9 out of 10 times does not actually hit the intended target. Dozens of civilians, some women, mostly women and children, are getting killed from this. And we are basically leaving them into a dangerous situation where they're forced to sympathize with terrorists to protect them because of the airstrike campaign that we, the United States of America, is campaigning for around the world. So, for international law, the United Nations actually condemned our airstrike movement as well. So that's another reason to not do it either. So let's continue. Cut military spending by at least 50% and close 700 plus military bases. And when you hear of 700 plus military bases, you have to think, why the heck are we in Germany? Why are we in South Korea? We have over 20,000 troops in South Korea. You hardly ever hear about that. There's 4,500 troops in Iraq, over 7,000, maybe 8,000 by now in Afghanistan. And Obama said that he would take out the troops in Afghanistan, but of course he lied, broke his promise, said to keep them there. So Obama and Hillary Clinton are the neoliberal side of the Democratic Party. They're pro-choice. They are for gay rights, and I'm all for that, that they should be able to get all the rights that they need. However, supporting when Obama and Hillary Clinton support all these regime change, that's neoliberal, that's neoconservative, and that's the Democratic Party and the Republican Party merging together to form one militaristic party, and that's a party of the weapons contractors. So let's go to the next one. Okay. Stop U.S. financial and military support to human rights abusers. Barring substantial changes in their policies, This would include Saudi Arabia, Israel, and Egypt. Okay, so let me explain to you what Saudi Arabia has done, because they've been ruthless about human rights and why I'm very passionate about not supporting Saudi Arabia. The Podesta, let me start with something that just came out recently. In the Podesta emails that were released a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday, it was revealed that Hillary Clinton actually knew that Saudi Arabia was secretly funding ISIS, because they believe that fundamental Islam should be spread around the world, and they believe that all religions are horrible except for Islam, so that they want to spread that message, and they want to spread it violently. So they're not doing anything to stop ISIS. They're actually supporting ISIS. So why are we continually spending hundreds of or tens of billions of dollars to fund them through weapons deals? Why are we doing it? Because the weapons contractors want the money. Because the politicians are receiving money from the weapons industry, from the military industrial complex, to make money off that. Israel, what has Israel done? They have created illegal settlements of the Palestinian people, where they're illegally doing this by just ruling over the Palestinians. And when I hear that Obama said, when I hear that, it makes me laugh. When I hear that Obama says that he's upset or disappointed with Israel for doing this, well, then President Obama, why would you give them a $38 billion deal over 10 years? Why would you give this to them if they're continually oppressing the Palestinian people, oppressing poor people in Israel and the Gaza Strip? Why are you doing it? So it's so ridiculous. So let's continue. And where is it? There it is. End use of assassination as an instrument of U.S. foreign policy, including collaborative assassinations through intermediaries. End the destructive U.S. economic and military intervention into the affairs of sovereign countries, such as Iran in the 1950s, such as Honduras in the 1990s, and Libya, and the Iraq War, and so on. Such as interventions, all right, let me go to the next one. Freeze the bank accounts of countries that are funding terrorism, including the Saudi royal family. So we are basically rewarding the Saudi Arabia for killing hundreds of civilians in Yemen in the war against the Houthi rebels. And what's so frustrating is that we're continually giving them weapons and weapons continually. And then recently they did an airstrike that killed tens of people, I don't know about 100, but killed many civilians that were attending a funeral, and they bombed them anyway.